On behalf of the ASEAN Head of Missions, I would like to express our appreciation and gratitude to President Ranil Wickremesinghe, Honorable Cabinet Ministers, State Ministers, Excellencies Ambassador, High Commissioners, Honorable Member of Parliament, the President Chief of Staff, the Chief of Sri Lanka Defense Staff, Commander of the Sri Lanka Three Forces, and representative of religious leader that also join us today, business community, friendship association of respective ASEAN member countries, ladies and gentlemen, all the guests. We are honored and privileged to have you with us today to commemorate the 56th ASEAN Day. His Excellency the President, Honorable Minister, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, 56 years ago, on August 8, 1967, 5 leaders, the Foreign Minister of Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, Singapore, and Thailand, sat down together in the main hall of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs building in Bangkok, Thailand, and signed the document on the establishment of Association of Southeast Asian Nations, or ASEAN. Since then, ASEAN countries have commemorated August 8 as ASEAN Day. This memorable day has been commemorated in all member states and at diplomatic missions, including the ASEAN missions in Sri Lanka. This year, the commemoration of ASEAN Day in Colombo has become very special with the presence of His Excellency President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, and at the same time as Chief of Guests, graced this remarkable occasion. The past 56 years of ASEAN have shown that working together can we deliver economic prosperity, social advancement, and long-lasting peace for our region. From its modest beginnings over half a century ago, the association has blossomed into a formidable platform where 10 diverse nations converge to cultivate mutual understanding, address regional challenges, and seize opportunities for collective growth. For the past 56 years, we have enjoyed the achievements made by ASEAN. Among others are the success in creating a stable, prosperous, and peaceful region, forming an ASEAN community that cares for and shares with each other, building multilateralism and free trade, encouraging mechanisms that move economic and security structure in the Asia-Pacific region. Meanwhile, we have also faced very severe and even more alarming challenges. The climate crisis is hitting countries reeling from economic losses caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. Governments struggle with environmental degradation, face skyrocketing prices for food and energy. From the pandemic to the climate change emergency to the global repercussion of conflict and continued displacement and inequality, we will only solve these interlinked issues if we act together. The cohesiveness and togetherness of ASEAN have been proven to enable ASEAN to solve various challenges and simultaneously act as a force that encourages ASEAN to unite, to discuss and find solutions to these challenges. We continue embracing our commitment to the spirit of togetherness in caring and sharing community where everyone matters. This commitment reflects the spirit of this year's Indonesia chairmanship on ASEAN with the theme, ASEAN Matters, Epicentrum of Growth. The choice of the theme was also motivated by conditions whereby a world situation experienced various challenges, including the sharpening of geopolitical rivalries, the impact of the war in Ukraine on food and energy and security, as well as financial stability, and the slow recovery of the global economy after the pandemic. From this theme, there are three main pillars, namely ASEAN Matters, epicentrum of growth, and implementation of the ASEAN Outlook on Indo-Pacific. Basically, with the ASEAN Matters, Indonesia and other ASEAN countries intend to make ASEAN remain essential and relevant to the people of ASEAN and beyond, and ASEAN unity is vital to continue to maintain so that ASEAN can continue to play its central role in maintaining regional peace and stability. Epicentrum of growth reflects that ASEAN has significant assets, namely a large population and economic growth that is almost always above the average world economic growth, and ASEAN must continue to be a center for economic growth that is inclusive, resilient, and sustainable. With the implementation of the ASEAN Outlook on Indo-Pacific, Indonesia and other ASEAN countries will also continue to build inclusive regional architecture in the Indo-Pacific through concrete AOIP cooperation with ASEAN external relations, particularly in the areas of maritime cooperation, connectivity, sustainable development goals, and economic cooperation. The principle of complementary for many existing collaborations makes the AOIP concept compatible with the development of international dynamics by not taking sides with one of the world's directions. The theme of Indonesia chairmanship in ASEAN has been translated into various resolutions under the agenda for discussion in a series of ASEAN meetings in Indonesia, including the 42nd ASEAN Summit, which took place in May 2023 in Labuan Bajo, and the 43rd ASEAN Summit, which will take place on the 5th to 7th of September 2023 in Jakarta. Overall, the spirit of the team has also set the foundation for the development of ASEAN Vision 2045. In this regard, ASEAN is one of the world's economic success stories with even more enormous potential. With a combined population of over 670 million people, approximately 8.8% of the world population, ASEAN is the third largest market globally. His Excellency the President, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, ASEAN looks at Sri Lanka as an important regional partner. We noted that in 2007, Sri Lanka joined the ASEAN Regional Forum, or ARF, a platform for bilateral and multilateral dialogue and consultation on political and security issues in the Asia-Pacific region. In this regard, I'm happy to note that Honorable Ali Sabri attended the ARF meeting held in Jakarta on 14 July 2023. At the ARF meeting, member states reaffirmed the importance of the ARF as the key platform for fostering constructive dialogues and consultation on political and security issues of common interest and concern, and reiterate their support for ASEAN centrality in the IRF. I'm also happy to note that Sri Lanka signed ASEAN's Treaty of Amity and Cooperation in the same year it joins the IRF in 2007. Ladies and gentlemen, in addition, ASEAN missions in Sri Lanka have carried out several activities together involving also various stakeholders. One of many activities, we invited His Excellency President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka to a meeting in March 2023, in which we discussed so many things that common benefit for both sides. Other activities also include a series of ASEAN head of mission visit to many regions in Sri Lanka, to Sabaragamuwa province, to Ratnapura city, and to Hambantota Esel Jaffna. That's among others, in which we would like to promote ASEAN to have a closer link with Sri Lanka and to enhance people-to-people links. His Excellency the President, Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to reiterate that ASEAN wishes to see a peaceful, stable, and prosperous Indo-Pacific region. We want our region architecture to be inclusive, where all countries feel safe and secure. ASEAN is open to countries who wish to strengthen interaction in Indo-Pacific. We also continue to work with Sri Lanka to make sure Sri Lanka gains the benefit of the development of ASEAN. We recognize that dynamic and multifaceted partnerships are essential. Our shared values, principles, and interests, which include strengthening a rule-based international order to address common challenges, including economic, security, health, environmental and social culture, climate change connectivity, form the foundation for managing relations with countries worldwide. We all fervently hope the partnership with Sri Lanka will flourish and continue to grow over the years and decades. Finally, as we look forward to the next 57 years of ASEAN, we renew our pledge of solidarity with one another to address common challenges together and bring about more opportunities for all. Thank you. Happy ASEAN Day. It is now my privilege to invite His Excellency President of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka to deliver his keynote remarks. Thank you, Stuti Nandri.